The measles outbreak at Disneyland has made vaccinations a hot topic recently. Missouri is ranked 35th in the country with 89.9% vaccination rate. We sat down with a local mother who chooses not to vaccinate her children and also wishes to remain nameless, and also a pediatrician who has made the decision not to see patients who are not vaccinated.
We went into it as we can never unvaccinate them. So heaven forbid we did get them vaccinated and something adverse happened to them, I would never be able to forgive myself for that.
I've been in practice 20 years. In all my 20 years, I have never seen any severe reaction. The worst reaction that we've had is at one occasion, this infant was excessively crying, and it was about 3 days. That was, I considered a severe reaction. That was the only one I've ever seen.
Parents also worry about the effectiveness of vaccines to prevent illness.
The idea of vaccines is good, but the way that they are working or aren't working is very inefficient. So if we could say my kiddo got a measles vaccination, they will never ever have that or deal with that ever in their life, then I might think about it more. But the fact is, a lot of the cases of measles or the outbreaks are happening in vaccinated populations too.
This Disneyland outbreak is 100% related to the anti-vaxxers. It's because we have too many people who are not immunized who can now spread the disease. We're losing our herd immunity. And 80% of the cases are related to people who were not immunized.
But what if there were an outbreak of some kind in St. Joseph?
If there happened to be an outbreak of something, we would keep our kiddos, at home just to, well, personally I would go ahead and let them get whatever, that way they'd never have to deal with it again, but some people choose to keep the kiddos away from it, and that way they don't have to deal with it.
Measles is a serious illness, and no, it's nothing you want to have. There's been considerable mortality associated with measles. This does not go away. It doesn't matter if you're here and it's clean and you have a good diet and you take vitamin C. It's still a serious illness with serious threats. If you're exposing your children to measles and then your child dies, how do you feel?
Other than the measles, pertussis or the whooping cough is a disease that has parents concerned regarding vaccinations.
The big one that gets talked about is whooping cough. For most parents that are observant to their children, they catch things very, very early. So, and if your kid is vaccinated and you come in contact with my unvaccinated child, why are you worried?
I have seen pertussis. And yes, the ones with pertussis, this is not something anybody wants to go through. This is known as a 90-day cough, 100-day cough. That's a mild case. It can be related to cerebral palsy, mental retardation, death, all sorts of problems. And the ones I've had, can't remember if it was 2 or 3 of them, ended up in the hospital with relatively long stays just because they couldn't maintain their oxygen. And there's nothing you can do except for watch them suffer.
In the end, it's still all about choice, at least in Missouri, where schools allow exemptions for religious, philosophical, or medical reasons.
We all do what we think is best for our children. So for people that say you're a bad parent or you're putting your child at risk for not doing vaccinations, I highly encourage them to do more research on the topic because they don't fully understand how the immune system works and the repercussions of having an adverse event happen. So you kind of let those things slide off your shoulder because I'm very confident in my decision and why I chose to decide.
I think Missouri needs to take a stand. We are at risk. We're putting our children at risk. Our schools need to stop accepting these exemptions at the drop of a hat.
For Fox 26, I'm Cecilia Reeves.